big for both of these teams. So for you, is it a very strange occasion going into a cup final when it is two clubs that you've got so much history with?
Yeah, definitely. It is a strange situation, but it's the FA Cup final and something that dreams are made of, really. So I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, it's against my old club, but it's just another game of football and another FA Cup final. No matter who it's against, we want to get the job done.
Right, that's pretty much all I need.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks, Chris.
I might as well get Gareth if he's just turned.
Yeah, absolutely. That was perfect timing.
Yeah. So for you, like Gareth, obviously, number of finals in a short space of time for the club as a whole. So does that just goes to show that despite change of management, that the club is still very much going in the right direction and winning and looking to win trophies?
Gareth, can you hear us okay?
Sorry, was that a question for me? Why is Chloe not answering there? Sorry, it's because I came in halfway through. Sorry, Chris, you'll have to start that again.
Yeah, no problem at all, mate. Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's third final in 4 years for the club. Does that just ultimately go to show that things are very much still moving in the right direction, even though you took over from what was a very successful period? And is it all about just maintaining that and getting to as many finals as you can, winning as many trophies as you can?
Yeah, I think so. I think, we've got the opportunity to go for 5 trophies this season, 2 of them obviously being 2 FA Cup competitions in one season. So, we're trying to build a squad that are capable of competing on all fronts. So, to do that is going to be very difficult. There's high level of competition in the WSL this season, and obviously in the Champions League, the level just keeps seeming to be improving. So, yeah, we want to be there, and this is a great opportunity for us to pick up from last season. The girls did really well in the quarterfinal and semi-final game, and now we have a really good game to look forward to at Wembley. So the girls are excited, and we all are, and yeah, we just want to give it that final push to make sure that we bring the trophy back home.
Great, cheers.
Okay.
Thanks, Chris. Fraser Dainton from Sky Sports.
Gareth, how are you doing?
Hi, Fraser. You okay?
Yeah, very good. I just wanted your thoughts on how impressed you've been with the start that Everton have made this season.
Yeah, good team. I've admired what Willie's done. He's. I think a lot of the emphasis has been put on some of the other teams in terms of the recruitment that's been made, but they brought in a lot of players. They obviously lost Chloe, which would have been a bit of a blow for them, but they've recruited really well, made a decent start to the season. And and I've obviously done well in the cup competitions as well. We were lucky enough to play them twice already this season, once in pre-season and once in the Continental Cup. Can we kind of draw on those experiences? Yeah, we can, but I think this becomes a bit of a one-off game, a Wembley Cup final, and 2 real competitive teams looking to be successful.
Same question to Chloe as well. And how impressed have you been? And has it surprised you that despite the fact that you've left them, they've seemed to have done so well?
No, I think what Willie's doing there is he's doing a great job at Everton. The recruitment was great, and they've done great this season. And that's credit to the players and the manager. But they've done great this season. But we want to find a way to break them down the weekend as well.
Thank you.
Is that everything for you, Fraser?
If you don't mind a couple more, that'd be great.
That's fine. I think you're the only one that's left for broadcast.
Okay.
So go for it.
Chloe, in terms of playing at Wembley and the fact that it's going to be obviously an empty stadium, do you think that's going to feel a little bit strange given the fact that it's such a big game in terms of the calendar?
Yeah, definitely. It would be great to have fans there, of course, but the safety is the most important thing at the moment. But we know that the fans are behind us at home and really supporting the team. But yeah, of course, it will be very weird without the fans at Wembley. Such a big stadium, but we know what the FA Cup means to everyone, and we'll just go out there and get the job done the weekend and focus on the game now.
how big a difference is it in terms of playing behind closed doors when it is such an important competition like this and it is a final? I mean, like you say, having the fans there would normally give you that little bit of extra motivation, but where do you think that's going to come from this time?
I feel like it will come from within because we know what's up for grabs. It's an FA Cup final. I feel like you don't really need any more extra motivation than that. An FA Cup final at Wembley and a chance to get some silverware ahead of the rest of the season. So I feel like that is the massive motivation in this competition now, and we just want to get the job done.
Gareth, in terms of your squad for this weekend, how's everybody looking, and what sort of decisions do you still have to make ahead of the final itself?
Yeah, just a bit of fine tuning, really. I think everyone's looking good. Everyone's that we had previously is fit and available, apart from the noticeable absentees. We were fortunate in so much as we got the likes of Chloe and the England girls back a day or two earlier than we anticipated due to the circumstances. And, that was great. We had to think on our feet really quickly in terms of arranging their timetable. But great to have them back. And again, what you want is everybody knocking on the door. And in terms of being ready, fit and available to play in this game, everyone wants to play in a Wembley final. Unfortunately, we can only pick 11 players, but I think the 9 subs that you have and all the players that are in the stand, whether they're fit, available, injured, whatever, I think is really important that everyone's together and doing their bit to make sure we're successful.
Just a final one from me. The club recently signed up to the FA's Football Leadership Diversity Code. The idea being that we're hopefully going to get a bit more diversity in terms of senior people within football, including female coaches and what have you. Do you think that's a good step forward for the game as a whole to commit to trying to make those sorts of changes?
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a great initiative. I think there's many initiatives that are going on currently within the game where we're trying to make it accessible for many different types. So I think it can only be a positive thing.
Great stuff. Thanks very much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Fraser. Joel Curry, BBC. You there,
Hi,
Joe?
how are you?
Hi, Joe. You okay?
Okay.
Yeah, not bad, thank you. You've already been to Wembley once this year. That didn't end in a trophy. I was wondering what lessons personally you learned from already playing in the Community Shield there.
Well, for me, I think it was a great experience for the girls who were available. I think we were a different squad from where we were then to what we are now. I think at that point, I think it was only Sam Mewis who was introduced late on as a substitute, was getting up to speed. We didn't have Lucy, we didn't have Alex, we didn't have Rose Lavelle. And we didn't really have too many options from the substitutes bench. And I think Chelsea were ahead of us at that stage in terms of squad selection and availability and depth. So, but it was great to have that experience. It was great for the girls to play there. Many of ours have been fortunate enough to have had that experience over many times playing for England at that stadium. So hopefully that'll help us. But again, it comes down to a one-off game, both teams going at it and both wanting to be successful.
I was going to ask how much an advantage is it? Because my understanding is the teams can't visit the stadium beforehand. So for Everton's players, the first time they'll see it is probably when they step out on the pitch. How much of an advantage is it that you've already been there this year?
Hopefully we can use that as advantages, like I say. But I mean, sometimes it's a strange one. It can affect you in different ways. I remember the first time I played at Wembley, the old stadium, and it was, I think the first 5 or 10 minutes just passed me by, and it was too busy looking around at the surroundings. And so, yeah, it can affect people in different ways. At the end of the day, the pitch dimensions are the same. There's 2 goals. It's a game of football. We have to try and block that out and play the game, not the occasion. That's the most difficult thing, I think, to do. And hopefully, like I say, with our experience that we have, we should be able to do that.
I know it's a story that's been touched on a lot, the fact that Chloe's obviously played for both teams in the competition. How weird is it for you to have a player in that situation, and have you tapped her for any information on Everton at all?
Yeah, Chloe's been helpful in that respect. I mean, one of the main things for Chloe was, and one of her concerns when she signed for us, and when we knew that we were going to be restarting the FA Cup from last season, was would she be cup side? I think that was one of the major things. So once we heard that she was good to play, like some of the people I mentioned previously, she's made such a good start to the season. She's really bedded in well with us, and she's a real asset for us. So again, yeah, we'll be having conversations, and I think Chloe's the type of girl, if she's got something to say or some some intel, or Esme Morgan has as an example as well. We've been there last season. So again, we'll focus on what we do. We'll be aware of the opposition, but I think it's down to us.
Brilliant. Thank you. Best of luck for Sunday.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Jonathan Veal.
Hi there, Gareth. It's Jonathan from PA. It's just a quick question for me, really. You touched on the Community Shield loss there. But what would it mean for you to get a trophy, for a few months of your time in the job?
Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, I feel so fortunate to have, I've not even hit double figures in games for the club at the moment. And 2 of those games have been at Wembley Stadium. So it's, I'm enormously grateful for that opportunity. It's something that you want to get accustomed to, being in big finals. And it's something that's certainly the target for us. For us to win the trophy on Sunday would be amazing. And it'd be the biggest thing for me in my coaching career, in my, premature coaching career, because I feel like I'm at the start of it, especially in the top flight. I'm learning so much about the women's game and enjoying many parts to it. And again, to be here on Sunday, looking forward to playing in a cup final and leading out the team is a hugely proud moment for me.
Okay.
Thanks, Jonathan. Right, that concludes the broadcast section. So if you'd like to start raising hands for the written section, and we'll kick off with Dan Pentland, please.
Thanks, Emma. Just a question for Gareth, first of all, please. Gareth, it's Dan Pentland from FA Women's Super League full-time. In terms of your own career, you've played in finals at Wembley, you played in big promotion clinching games. As a coach also, you've already taken charge of various cup finals. What do you draw from your own experiences in the past to be able to pass on to the girls going into Sunday?
Probably just trying to normalise it as much as possible and keep following the processes. I mean, sometimes you can let big games, big occasions get the better of you, and that certainly happened to me in the past as a player. So I think it's just about making sure we go about our normal business. We treat the game like any other game, which is difficult because we know it's a final, but I think it's just keeping it as normal as we possibly can, getting the girls to follow the processes that we work to with and without the ball, and focus on the kind of things that we can affect that are within our hands.
And just a question for Chloe. Obviously, we've already mentioned the Everton connection non-stop since the start of the call, but I suppose, is there any kind of banter between you and some of your friends back at Everton, and is there a little bit of rivalry between yourself and your former club?
Yeah, no, I haven't really spoke to the girls too much this week. I've tried to keep the communication to a minimum. I'm quite focused on the game now, and I just want to get my head in that frame of mind. But yeah, the girls are great there. I have great relationships with a lot of the players, so probably after the game we'll be having that conversation. But for now, I'm focused on getting the job done the weekend.
Cheers. Thanks very much, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. Adam Millington.
First one for Gareth. With so many England players in your side, was it a bit of a blessing in disguise that they didn't have to play the game in Germany on Tuesday and you could have them back a bit earlier?
I suppose, yeah. I mean, to be honest, I was pretty comfortable with either situation. It's great, obviously, getting the girls back to have an extra couple of days prep, because we would have only had 3 days leading. But also, I was quite comfortable with the fact that the girls were going out and playing a game. I think as long as when they go away with their various nations, is that they don't undertrain. I think that can be a problem as well. I mean, the most managers will be concerned about overtraining, overplaying, picking up injuries. But we would have dealt with the fallout no matter what had happened. So it was just a case of being grateful that we got them back a little bit earlier. We had to change things around a little bit in the structure of the week, but no, it was great. It was great to get them back and for them to have that normality of having an extra day or two to go into a decent game.
Am I all right for a follow-up question quickly to Gareth?
Go for Adam quickly, yeah.
It's probably not been the ideal start to the season for you, but does form sort of go out of the window a little bit when it comes to a cup final?
Yeah, this is, in the cup competitions, we've won every game. So other teams have made a better start than us in the WSL, but they haven't had, potentially apart from Everton, those cup competition wins as well. So it's, I've said to the girls that I don't think we're a million miles away from really clicking into to top form. Our performances have been good. That's the main thing. It's just the game will never change. It's in both boxes. We have to defend well. We have to score goals. But there's been some really promising moments in between. I think I can see signs now of us bedding in. Obviously, it's new for me, new for the girls as well, with a new coach. And we're competing against teams that have had that kind of continuity of a manager being in place for a long time. So that can take time. And the early signs I've been really pleased with. But there's lots more work to do.
And just the one for Chloe, you were in the squad but didn't play during the 2016 Cup final. Are you excited to feature in your first FA Cup final for Manchester City?
Yeah, definitely. It was nice to get a taste back in 2016, but I feel like it just made me more hungry to want to get there again and be actually on the pitch this time. So I feel like this weekend I'm even more excited because competing for a spot in the team. So I'll do whatever it takes this week to work my socks off and try and get in that starting 11 and support the team as much as I can and just enjoy the experience, really.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, Adam. Amy, if you'd like to come forward.
Hi, Gareth.
Hi, Amy.
Well. Touching it a bit with Adam there, obviously, you've had, a mixed bag kind of start to the season, some really good games and some frustrating results. Could winning on Sunday kind of maybe give you that boost that you need to click everything into place?
Potentially, yeah. I think it'll be, Sunday stands alone for me. It's an opportunity to win a trophy. And it'd be a great moment if we do. There's no getting away from that. But I think we need to look at this competition being completely different to the WSL. The WSL for me, our performances have been pretty good. We're not a million miles away from being that where we want to be. But I think we've got plenty of time to catch up in terms of picking up some really good run of results. I think other teams will take points off of one another as well. So, but yeah, like you say, I think it'll be, for me, it'll be confirmation of the good work that we're doing, looking towards the future. But again, outside of this, if we're not successful, we'll still keep the same processes and still keep working hard to achieve our objectives. And there'll be other competitions to look at. But again, I don't want to take it away from Sunday. This is really important for us, important for me, and important for all of the staff that we do well on Sunday.
And Chloe, for you growing up, what was this FA Cup final occasion kind of like? What memories do you have of watching the FA Cup final as a kid? And now obviously you get to play in that first one.
Yeah, of course, watching the FA Cup final as a kid and really excited for the day, really, the occasion. And now I get to feature in the FA Cup final is a great moment for any player. I feel like it's a dream come true to be at Wembley and be in an FA Cup final for any player. So just enjoy the moment, but not get too caught ahead of it. It's a game of football at the end of the day.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. Tom Gary, BBC.
Thanks, Emma. Hi, Gareth. I've just got the one question. I just wondered if you could outline for us kind of how this week's worked logistically with the players coming back from international duty. How difficult has that been compared to a normal week in terms of preparation? And I know you answered this a little bit already with Adam, but has the fact that England didn't play, given you've got so many England stars, has the fact that England didn't play changed your starting team for Sunday?
Well, we never know, will we? I mean, you just don't know what would have happened against Germany if players would have picked up knocks or injuries. So it's kind of it's an impossible question, really. But I think for me, just the fact that once we were made aware of what was happening on Sunday morning, we just needed to look at what our week looked like when we were anticipating the girls to come back. The fact that we got them back a little bit earlier was fine. We needed to look at them physically as well. So once we kind of checked in with every player, making sure that they were fine and available and with no issues, we just got back to our normal work. And I think it's been a positive in some respects that we potentially got players back a little bit earlier than maybe Everton, who had some players. But again, we had to wait on a couple. Caroline Weir only came back to us yesterday. So, I think it is what it is. You just have to make the best of it. I think, when you've got so many games coming up in a small space of time, you're naturally going to get some knocks or injuries and the squad are slightly changed. So each player needs just to be ready and to be available.
Okay, thanks, Gareth. Thanks, everybody. Good. Best of luck for the weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Fiona Thomas.
Hi, Gareth. Hope
Hi.
you're good. I just wanted to ask, on paper, you guys are probably kind of the overwhelming favourites going into this final on Sunday, despite obviously, like we've all touched on, how well Everton have performed this season. Does that make it harder for you, do you think, or easier?
Depends which way you look at it. I mean, people say overwhelming. I don't think it's, with the fact that Everton, like you say, have made a good start to the season. We naturally will be the favourites. I get that. But, at the end of the day, this is the beauty of the FA Cup. In both female and men's competitions, you'll always have the matchups, whether a team is an underdog, a team's a favourite. And that's why over the years, you've kind of seen many underdogs come through and win games and get through to the next round. So I think that kind of goes out of the window. I've got huge respect for what Everton are doing. I've got huge respect for what other teams are doing in the WSL. Everton have made a decent start in that respect. We've played them twice already, so we've got a little bit of inside information. But as they will on us as well. So I think when it comes down to it, it's, a 90-minute game. We're looking forward to being successful and we'll be giving it everything to be that.
Great. And just lastly for me, if I may, obviously with the England news in the week with the Germany game being cancelled and the kind of 10 positive tests that the WSL recorded earlier this week, can you kind of lift the lid maybe on, has there kind of been a tightening of protocols perhaps, or are you guys just being extra cautious, in light of, like, across all sport at the minute, we're seeing a lot more positive cases, sadly, across kind of major tournaments such as obviously the Six Nations. You might have seen this season, this weekend as well, has been deeply affected.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, we've been really fortunate in so much as we haven't had any kind of positive tests, particularly from our point of view and our female bubble. So it's we're fairly proud of that. It tells us that we're doing the right things and we're taking all the necessary precautions that we can and not taking risks. And like you say, it's a really kind of cautious situation where it only takes kind of one probably poor decision or interaction with a person and all of a sudden you've got 2 or 3 issues. So yeah, for us, I think it's we've had many conversations, even though we have been successful in our tests, that we're reinforcing the protocols, and sometimes the protocols will change in terms of what we can and can't do. But the medical department at our place has been top. The girls have been really heavily informed, and as have the staff, because it's obviously really important for the staff as well.
Well, all the best on Sunday. Good luck.
Thank you. Thanks, Fiona.
Thanks, Fiona. Glenn Moore, please.
Hello. Oh, hi, Gav.
Hi, Glenn.
You've got, just looking at trying to pick the teams, you've got a very difficult selection decision. When do you, particularly in midfield, when do you tell the team? Have you told them already, or do you tell them just before the game?
It depends. It depends on the feel, really. I mean, sometimes when we had one situation where I think we had maybe 6 games in about 12, 14 days. Sometimes the girls will get a bit of an understanding and a bit of an earlier heads up on what the team will look like. But I think when you come to a final like this, I want to make sure that everyone is given the opportunity to show their very best in training. We put a big emphasis on training and making sure that everyone trains properly, does all the right things, because we need everyone to be available. And again, we knew that this week, especially if the England game would have gone ahead, it could have been a situation where our anticipated understanding of the team might have changed within the last 48 hours. And again, we have to be mindful of that as well in training, because if we want the girls to train at a high level, then we understand that there's going to be some contacts. So I think for me, it's just a case of finalising what it looks like over the next 48 hours and making sure everyone's ready to play.
And one for Chloe. Obviously, things went very well for you at Everton. I mean, you got into the England team. The club was obviously on the way up. Was it a difficult decision to leave?
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a tough decision to leave, because I was enjoying my football at Everton, but I got an opportunity to come to Manchester City and play Champions League football and come to such a huge club. So I couldn't turn down that opportunity, and it's a great decision for me, and I'm glad I made that right decision.
Okay, thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Glenn. We'll go for Catherine back from the Daily Mail, please.
Hi. First question to Gareth, if that's okay. Obviously, Willie Kirk's looking for his first trophy in this country since joining women's football, and obviously you are as well. He had a little chat with Carlo Ancelotti this week. Have you spoken to anyone or taken advice from anyone going into the game?
Well, I speak to a lot of people. I managed to speak to the manager a couple of weeks ago, to Pep, and the first thing he asked me was when was the final. So it's great that he's keeping an avid interest in it as well, and he's been hugely supportive, considering the amount of games and the heavy schedule that they've got on their plate, playing Champions League and then back to the Premier League. So it's great, and that's the beauty of being at City. It really does feel like a family, and everyone's really behind us and supporting us and wanting us to do well.
Great. And then just to Chloe, obviously, I know you've mentioned before that you were in a meeting with the Everton players at the start of last season, and the aim was to get to Wembley. Obviously, you've left now, but are you kind of surprised to see just how well they've done to get here to Wembley, or were you expecting them to kind of kick on and push on from last season?
Yeah, no, not surprised at all, because what they have been putting in place for the last few years now is great to see what they're doing. But yeah, I'm not surprised at all that they got to Wembley, but now my focus is on Manchester City and what I can do at this club.
Cheers, that's great. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Catherine. Jen O'Neill from She Kicks.
Hi, just a quick one for Chloe. You've started the season in fine form and you kicked that off at Wembley in the Community Shield. Wasn't the right result, and you hit the post. Does it feel a bit like unfinished business?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Community Shield was my competitive debut for the club, and it was a big occasion for me. But this time round, I just want to go out there, play with freedom, and do the job on the day. Hitting the post obviously was very frustrating, and not to get the result. But I feel like this time round, the team are going there to get the result, get the win, and hopefully come back with silverware.
You felt like you looked at home on that pitch. Did it feel like that for you?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like all pitches I play on, I just want to show what I'm capable of. It don't matter if it's Wembley or wherever. But yeah, it's another game of football, and not getting too focused on being at Wembley. It's just a game of football at the end of the day.